in the journey inward, in the journey of understanding our deepest essence and seeing ourselves clearly, we need to understand the capacity that every single human has to use the infinite power of the mind. That is what lesson 17 is helping us to see clearly. Lesson 17 says, I see no neutral things. And this is augmenting from everything we've been practicing, but also yesterday's idea that we have no neutral thoughts. And every other lesson before that, where we've been practicing recognizing our felt sense. What we feel at any given moment is not there by chance, is there because of past conditions, past interpretations that we continue to hold as true in our conscious or unconscious mind. And those ideas and concepts remain with us, creating more ideas like it, and also creating a felt sense, an energetic feeling that it's palpable, that we feel day after day. And a lot of that felt sense, when it's out of alignment with our deepest essence, will feel like suffering. It will feel like pain. It will feel like lack, or like a form of fear of any sort. And so what we're learning to do is becoming aware of that's the way things are, not to judge anyone, but simply to know where we're at any given moment, so that we can choose to let that go and rest, relax in the attributes of our deepest sense of self. The truth of today's idea has so much clarity, has so much potential for healing the mind at so many layers. And I am hopeful that you take this lesson, practice with it, let go of anything else you might be doing while you're integrating this truth, so that it becomes a tool for you in your own healing journey. Lesson 17 says, this idea is another step in the direction of identifying cause and effect as it really operates in the world. You see no neutral things because you have no neutral thoughts. It is always the thought that comes first, despite the temptation to believe that is the other way around. This is not how the world thinks, but you must learn that this is the way you think. So to ground this lesson in a very concrete way, let us unpack this first paragraph together. We're going to go one statement at a time, and we're going to use it as a review, because everything in this first paragraph we've already been practicing with. The first statement says, this idea is another step in the direction of identifying cause and effect as it really operates in the world. Identifying cause and effect. This was introduced in lesson 11. Lesson 11 reminded us that we have a conscious part of our experience, an unconscious part, the entire world, and then what we're awakening to, which is that deeper essence, the deeper field of awareness, the greater consciousness that can witness all of this phenomena arising and passing in that deeper field of life that we're all united with. And it told us in that first paragraph of lesson 11, it said, It seems as if the world determines what your conscious mind perceives. And lesson 11 introduced the concept that it is your thoughts that you're holding, consciously or unconsciously, that determine the world that we see. That is literally reverting cause and effect. We think the world is cause of what we are perceiving. But this workbook is saying we're correcting all of that. That's not empowering you. That's actually disempowering you. It is what you're holding in mind that determines the world that you see. It is what you're holding in mind, consciously or not, that determines the world you see. And understanding this truth deeply is your liberation from all suffering, from all lack of the attributes of who you truly are. It is always the thought that comes first, despite the temptation to believe that it's the other way around. We don't have the Eiffel Tower because the Eiffel Tower came first and then we thought of it. It doesn't work like that. This is the whole correction process, the whole correction of cause and effect. The outer world did not come first and then triggered how we feel about it. It is the other way around. When we think and speak and behave and act from an energy that is within us, we create equal to that energy. And today's lesson, lesson 17, goes on to say, you see no neutral things because you have no neutral thoughts. This is not how the world thinks, but you must learn that this is how you think. This is what we covered yesterday on lesson 16. Our thoughts are not trivial things. We have been accustomed to thinking without recognizing the power of thought. There are no neutral thoughts because every single thought has the entire power of creation behind it. Think of it. We can literally create cities, cultures, music, architecture, beauty, war, concentration camps, name it. The entire field of creation is available to a human being through thoughts. This is why we never have neutral thoughts, but this is also why we never see neutral things. We will see according to what we choose to hold in our mind. We can choose to see potential opportunity to forgive and to heal. So, where is the clarity of lesson 17? When we learn to see in alignment with our deepest essence, we are then learning to heal the mind. So, I see no neutral things is one of the most powerful healing tools that we can practice with every single day of our life. And the reason is because the most effective way to heal the mind is to use the mind in healed ways. When we learn to use our mind in skillful ways, we are creating grooves, we're creating habit patterns that are in alignment with what is life-giving. And that is so nourishing. It becomes habitual for the mind to rest in what brings a sense of harmony and peace and creativity and purpose in any given moment. So to land this clearly, I want us to do a few exercises together. This is how the exercise is going to unfold. We're going to rest in the field of awareness that we are. We're going to come to the present moment. We're going to trust that we're going to let go of any judgment, because judgment is not an attribute of our deepest essence. And so if judgment comes up, we're going to become aware. This is a habit pattern of my mind, and it never feels good, so it's not life-giving. We're going to put it aside, and we're going to continue with the exercise, because the exercise is going to be a practice of grooving our mind to be in alignment with what is life-giving. And so bring to your awareness a text conversation and a social situation. And I'm going to ask you a few things, and I want to invite you to recognize that you have the infinite field of your mind available to you to see that situation from this lens. Can you see that text conversation as valuable? If you don't see it as valuable, can you use the infinite field of your mind to consider how, in my wildest imagination, could this be valuable? What about the social situation that you thought about? Can you see value there? And the mind could say, yeah, but that wouldn't be true. Thank you, mind. We're exercising, using our mind in ways that are life-giving. This is a practice, and this is how the practice unfolds, by the way. We're simply opening to, could I see value there? That's all. So now that you know this deeply, anytime that you have a project, a conversation, an event that you're kind of just dreading or that you're worried about, know that there is an opportunity that right there to start grooving your mind to see a potential opportunity for bringing any attribute into your experience. It could be possibility, joy, peace, harmony, forgiveness, like any attribute that is life-giving. It's available to all of us to bring at any moment. And if you have found these exercises helpful, if you have been benefiting from walking this journey together over the last 16, 17 days, I invite you to share this video with someone else and consider joining the weekly calls. It is a beautiful way to connect and continue to expand in greater love and greater wisdom and greater embodiment of these practices. So I'll leave it at that, and I'll see you next time for lesson 18. Thank you.